right, we're live. How about them apples? They've changed the way they do the live streaming on YouTube. Hey, does my audio sound any better?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, because I turned down the gain on it so it wouldn't cut out or anything. All right, hey, let me do this. Let me take this and post it on Facebook real quick. We can edit out what I'm saying right now, but I want to get this on there. Can you have somebody check, make sure this is working? Scott?
Um, yeah, give me a second. Hannah, come here for a second. Are we going live with this thing?
Yeah, we're going to go live on YouTube with just a background image. And then I'm going to be able to bring in videos that I've set up.
Hey, can you get on YouTube and see if it's working?
Does she know how to find us?
Do you know how to find it?
See if you can get this link to her. I guess I can check. Yeah, it's live. I got it. No worries. We're good.
Never mind.
Sunday night, August 18th. Scott and Alvin, what is going on, man?
Well, there's a lot going on. Where do we start?
What's going on with your world first?
My world, as far as
In your world, what's going on in your world? I know you got some kids doing some stuff.
well, I yesterday I gave myself the official dumbass award for the day. As you know, I'm going out and scouting high school, future high school baseball players for colleges.
Yeah.
And well, there's a showcase up in Melissa, Texas. About an hour and 10-minute drive. And so I drive up there, pull in the parking lot, and it's empty.
What happened?
It was today.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh,
Yeah, so I gave myself that award today or yesterday.
Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, and then stay in par for the course. My oldest daughter thought one of her good friends' birthday parties was today, but it's next weekend.
Oh, well, at least I thought you were going to say it was yesterday, so that's good.
No, yeah, it's yeah, she's as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right?
That's right. That's right.
No, but other than that, just waiting on volleyball games to come up, and we actually are supposed to go to North Crowley, which is just south of Fort Worth, on Friday, and we get there. I meet my wife and my youngest daughter, and we get there about the same time as the bus gets there. Girls get off the bus, start walking into the school. About 5 minutes later, they start walking back out.
Okay.
And the school's kind of under construction, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're redoing the gym or something, so we got to go to the ninth grade center, which is where they played first, seventh, and eighth grade games last year. And so I pull up next to the bus and talk to the JV coach, and she says, well, North Crowley is at our school.
Huh.
So while we were at North Crowley High School, the team we were supposed to play was at our high school.
Oh, my gosh.
So that game got canceled.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Dang it.
Yep. So that's been our last couple days. So
I got you.
communication hasn't been there. So tell me about the football jamboree that you got to experience Friday.
Yeah, man. So Thursday, Cade, my son, told me they had a jamboree Friday night, and he was invited, and it was a varsity jamboree. He's only in ninth. He's in ninth grade, and I'm like, oh well, that's exciting. And turns out they only invited 4 kids from the JV team to come, and it was about a 40-minute drive to get to where we're going. And I was kind of excited until I saw the kids run out on the field. And dude, there's some legit 260, 270 pound kids
Mm-hmm.
on the other team. On our team and the other team, on the varsity team. And I'm sitting there with my rock star buddy. I don't know. One of my best friends is the drummer for a band called Jackal. He's got a kid on the JV team and the varsity team. And I'm sitting there and I let him go, hey man, if our kids don't get out there, it won't hurt my feelings. And he looks at me and goes, I'm right there with you.
Yep.
So they ended up not playing, but the varsity looked good. We've got a new head coach. He's actually from this high school, and he's coming up. He's coming back home. He was coaching in Greenville, about 45 minutes away, and in 10 years he had 3 state championships, and I think they went to the state finals like 7 times, but they won it 3 times. So everybody's really excited. And the cool thing is, we're transitioning away from that boring high school run only offense that 80% of the schools do. We're about a 70% pass offense now. And
Nice.
it is fun to watch. So our first drive the other night, the son or the starting quarterback for the varsity team is the son of the athletic director, and he's a good athlete. He's not real big, but he's a real good athlete. And like the third play of the game, he threw like a 40-yard touchdown down the sideline. I mean, just dropped it in a basket. And
Perfect.
we started out the game 7-0. I think we ended up winning by 6 points, something like that. We had a defensive stand on the 10-yard line with 10 seconds left to go on 4th down, stopped them, and ended up winning the game. But
Nice.
my son, I said he was 5'8". I measured him yesterday. He's 5'9" and an eighth and 145 pounds.
He needs to start eating.
Yeah, he's shredded. Like, I mean, he's muscular looking, but he's thin.
Yeah.
So, but he'll be 15 in October. I imagine they put him on a pretty strict, pretty tough weightlifting program this summer. And dude, I'm not kidding you. Week by week, you could tell he was getting bigger.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was kind of cool because they were working out 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and
Right.
then going out on the field for 2 hours afterwards. So that's what we did this week. I went and watched him sit on the bench. He's not used to that because he's a good athlete. He's not used to
Not being on there. Right. Exactly.
And I was kind of stressed out about picking him up, at the high school afterwards, thinking he's gonna be mad. And I said, hey man, sorry you didn't get in the game. He goes, it's okay. I didn't really think they would, put us in the game. It's fine. But I expected him to be like, this is such crap. I can't believe they dressed me out. Because he's a fiery dude, man. Like,
yeah.
He wants to play. So what was really cool is earlier in the week, they've got him pegged as a quarterback. And I think he's better at defensive end. And all summer, they've been telling him, no, you're our quarterback. You're not playing defense. And last week's scrimmage, the coach told him, stop asking me to play defense. Just don't ask anymore. And so the next scrimmage, which was earlier this week, he went out, did the quarterback thing, did a good job, threw 2 touchdowns, no picks, ran for about 100 yards. But he ran out on defense, on our second set on defense. And I'm like, what is going on here? So after the game, I asked him, I said, hey, man, how in the world did you get out there on defense? He said, well, the head coach said quit asking him. So I went and asked the defensive coordinator. He said the defensive coordinator is like, maybe I'll let you play safety. And my son goes, no, I'm the best defensive end you've got. So put me out on defensive end, I'll stop him. And so after a little bit, the guy gave in, said, "All right, run out on defensive end." And when the defense ran out, the head coach said, "Cade, where are you going?" And Cade just looked at him and said, "I'm going to play defense." And he ran out there. And he ended up playing defense the rest of the day. So they're really, really happy with him on defense. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. It'll be cool.
Yeah, that does sound cool. It is interesting. I mean, obviously we've had our lives and our time with with our sports, and so it's kind of different watching your kids, you know, go
Oh,
down this path that we've been. Obviously, mine is going to be different than yours because with my daughter playing volleyball and my other one being in dance, obviously
yeah. Right.
there's just not the similarity and stuff like that is there. You're talking about your high school's your son's high school's offense.
Yeah.
So when I played, we were pretty much an eye, we were pretty much eye and counters and that
Yep.
sort of thing. We had good running backs and stuff like that. Well, our high school here, they don't take a snap under center.
We're not doing that either. It's all reverse
And
shotgun now.
right, and I don't know in South Carolina if they have a play clock or not, but they have it here.
We do.
They try to snap every play before 10 seconds.
Oh wow. So they're running fast.
They are running fast. I mean, we went and watched a couple years ago when they went to state. It was, I think it might have been the quarterfinals playoffs. It was down, because they always play in neutral sites here.
Yeah.
Um, so it was down in Waxahachie, as a team from Dallas. At halftime, it was like 49-52.
Good grief.
Yeah, because they ran the same type of offense. So I mean, it was like watching a tennis match. Like it'd be okay, they have the possession, boom, 20 yards, touchdown. Like what?
Wow.
And then they don't. And then if they don't have a kicker,
Yeah.
they pretty much try to onside kick it every time, or they just do a high pooch kick so that they fair catch it at the 40.
Right. Right. That's
So
crazy.
it's yeah. So then it's like, okay, we're just gonna outscore them. We're not gonna stop them on defense. So then it just becomes like almost like a 7-on-7, right?
Yeah. Who scores last?
Yeah, exactly. So it's really fun. It's fun to watch our football team. They've had a couple of good quarterbacks here the last couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see this year because I don't know who they have at quarterback and what it's going to entail.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, we play it at the highest level, so we're 6A school. In our district, we have two schools that are perennial state contenders,
Right.
which is DeSoto and Cedar Hill.
Okay.
And I mean, you want to talk about some fast kids, man. They can move. Um, so yeah, it's every year it's going to be interesting. And the funny thing, we just made the jump to 6A last year,
Yeah.
and we were over the threshold of enrollment by 3 kids.
Oh wow.
So I figured, making that jump from 5A to 6A and only being over like 3 kids. I mean, in essence, we're still playing with a population or
Of a family.
enrollment right of a high end 5A school. I figured we were going to be at the bottom 3 in the district, and I think we ended up finishing second.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Do
it
you go
was.
to the games?
I do. I go to as many as I can, and especially with Hannah being a freshman this year, I'm gonna pretty much be at all of them.
Dude, it's a
Um,
fun atmosphere. I mean,
oh, I
high
love it.
school football, it's a really fun atmosphere. Everybody's excited. It's your community
Yeah,
and it's your kids. Dude, it's a fun atmosphere. We love it. And especially now that we live in, somewhat rural South Carolina, everybody knows everybody. It's like
it's
dude,
a big party.
it's like going to church. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah,
You're like, it's great to see everybody. Everybody's high fiving and hugging, and we're 5 minutes. Our high school is 5 minutes from Clemson's football stadium. So
Okay.
it's a football town. But
Yeah.
we're only 3A. We beat the team we beat in the Jamboree the other night. They were not expecting us to beat them. They're a 5A school, and they're typically pretty good. They're up near Greenville. They're not far from Greenville. It's a team called Easley, but they were pretty shocked, and we were playing them at their place. They hosted the Jamboree, so that was kind of cool. Everybody's really excited here, but hey, let's move on to the topics of the week, man. There's some stuff going on. What do you got for me?
Well, if we want to stay in the football realm,
Sure.
looking at the NFL. So the latest news coming out of there, two high headliners is Josh Gordon is reinstated with the New England Patriots.
Yep.
And Jay-Z is now partnering with, and his, well, not him, but I guess his company that he owns is now partnering with the NFL to provide the NFL entertainment for the Super Bowl, for
Yep.
whatever, pregame festivities, that sort of thing. So those are the two biggest.
Well, I read he's going to have a significant ownership in a team.
Yeah, I
Did
didn't,
you
I
see
didn't,
that?
no, I did not see that. The only thing I saw was that his Rock Nation, or whatever you want to call it, is basically the entertainment entity of the NFL now. So, getting into, I don't know if we want to get into it, but
No, I don't want to get into the politics of it. We all know where we
so
stand on that. But
yes, sir.
so, what's the significant? What happened with Josh Gordon? That I thought he had a lifetime ban. Like what?
I did too. Because he's now it's been 2 times that he's broken the substance abuse policy.
Yeah, something like that.
And yeah, so he's on a conditional reinstatement. So obviously he's under an extremely close watch. He'll probably be drug tested 2 to 3 times a day, I would assume.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So I mean,
All right,
it's crazy that.
check this out. So I looked into it just a little bit, and apparently the Patriots put out a press release on it. But then Bill Belichick was asked about it. So listen to this clip. He was asked about whether if he had anything to add to their press release. So check this out.
Put out a statement earlier today. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Nope.
Not at all.
No, that's why I put out the statement.
Put out a statement earlier
That's it.
today.
That's that's. Could you hear it?
No, I couldn't.
Oh, you couldn't hear it? Okay. So, Bill Belichick was asked, he said, so you put out a statement today. Was there anything you'd like to add to that? And he goes, nope. And then he says, so there's nothing you'd like to add to that? And he goes, no, that's why we put out a statement. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay. That was it. Classic Bill Belichick.
I like, a lot of people might not like how he handles the media, but I love it because, I mean, let's be honest here. They ask some stupid
Anything
questions.
you'd like to add to that?
They-
And it's questions, and like who Aaron Rodgers was saying the other day, a lot of these people, these journalists, they ask these questions just for clickbait material.
Right.
It's like they're trying to trick you into saying the wrong thing so that they can get the headlines and get the following on Twitter and Instagram and all these other things, so that their popularity increases.
Yes.
And I love the way that he answers questions. He's a lot like Greg Popovich too. For the Spurs, and it's just, I mean, it's cut and dry, and it's like, I'm not going to talk about my players. I'm going to talk about the game, and it's going to be very minimal because I'm not giving you a lot of info. What you saw on the field is what you saw.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go. And I mean, it's crazy how these people try to spiral and bait you into these extra stories that aren't even true.
True. Yeah. I love the way he handles it. So, what else were you talking about? Josh Gordon, Jay-Z. The Jay-Z thing, honestly, I couldn't care less.
Whatever. Yeah,
Money
exactly.
does what money does, and I don't care.
The only thing I could see a potential problem with this is he is an agent.
Oh, that's right. He's a sports agent.
Right. So how is his company, whether that's his sports agent company or not, how is it not going to affect things with the NFL in their office if he's a part of that office now?
Right.
You know what I mean? So and then you add in the NFLPA. I mean, is he going to start getting involved with that because he represents a bunch of the players? Like, is he going to start now all of a sudden 50% of the NFL is going to go to him and he's going to be their agent. So now he basically is running the NFLPA. You know what I mean? Like it can just it can get to a point where it could almost get out of control.
Yeah, it could get a little crazy. I don't know. Hey, this is the last weekend without college football this year.
That
This
is
is it.
true.
Next week, I'm trying to remember who plays next week.
Florida, Miami, and Florida.
Oh, Miami, Florida play next week.
I believe so. I'm looking it up right now.
Man, that would be
Let's see. Week 1, yeah, 24th, Miami at Florida, and then Arizona at Hawaii.
Oh,
Those
that's
are
great.
those are the first big name.
At least it's
But
not.
then
Go
go ahead.
sometimes they start the season off and it's
A dud,
Morgan State Bowling Green, which is starting Thursday,
right?
and that's the best game you got. But man, Miami and Florida next weekend is, dude, that's exciting.
That is
That means
Uh,
football is here.
well, and you brought up the other time or the other day about the Miami quarterback who beat out
Yeah,
what was that whole deal?
Tate Martell. All right, so listen, when Justin Fields entered the transfer portal in the NCAA, and it came out that he was interested in going to Ohio State, Tate Martell was at Ohio State, and Tate Martell tweeted out, "Don't even bother coming here, you'll never start," or something like that, because Tate Martell thought he had it on lockdown. Well, Justin Fields didn't really care, and he signed with Ohio State. Well, as soon as Justin Fields signed with Ohio State, Tate Martell entered the transfer portal and went to Miami. Everybody thought he was going to be the starting quarterback in Miami. Well, last week, the head coach from Miami has announced he's given the starting job to a freshman quarterback. I can't remember his name. And so Tate Martell was like, "Don't come to Ohio State because I got the job." Then he left, going to Miami, thinking he's got the job, and now he doesn't have the job in Miami either. And so today I read that they're contemplating putting him at wide receiver at Miami. So it just goes to show, don't be too cocky.
Yeah, exactly, and especially what you put out there in social media, and I mean, it's just
Why would you just keep your mouth shut?
yeah. Sport and I, it's funny because I was talking to Hannah about this the other day. Sports has a way to humble people.
Oh yeah.
And if you get too big for your britches, you think you're better than somebody else or bigger than the game, there's always going to be, at some point, something that will knock you down off your pedestal and make you humble.
All right, so speaking of which, did you see what Acuna did?
I did. And it was not Acuna Matata.
No. And you know what? Major props to the manager. So if you guys
Yes,
missed
sir.
it, Acuna hit a ball. And I do love Acuna. I think he's amazing. Ronald Acuna Jr. hit a ball he thought was gone, and he pimped it. I mean, pimped it. If you've seen the video, actually, we're going to bring up the video in the YouTube live. He hit the ball, totally pimped it, and well, let's just say the ball hit the fence, and he got a single.
Yeah. and then in the ensuing play, Okay, so they're down 3-0 at this point, right?
Okay.
So not only that, but then he ends up trying to steal second base,
Oh, he
and
got thrown out, didn't he?
and Will Smith throws him out
He should have been on second to begin with.
with a left-handed hitter up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so talk about a bunch of whole baseball like things that you just don't do. That was like within a matter of 4 pitches that he did all that.
Yeah, well, let's see what the manager had to say about it.
Take
Here,
us
check
through
this out. Oh, where'd the audio go? Hang on. I'm gonna start this.
You gotta, it's just not gonna be acceptable here.
Here we go.
Can you take us through what happened with Acuna pulling him from the game?
Yeah, he didn't run. You gotta run. You gotta, it's just not gonna be acceptable here. I mean, as a teammate, you're responsible for 24 other guys, and that name on the front is a lot more important than the name on the back of that jersey. And you can't do that. We're trying to accomplish something and do something special here, and personal things got to be put in the back burner. You can't let your team down like that.
You didn't make the decision right away.
No, well, because I didn't want to do that to Adam Duvall. It's kind of like I've learned in the past when you jump that and you punish that guy. He didn't do anything. And if we go out there, we're shorthanded, and they hit a ball in the gap, and he's an outfielder, and he blows a hamstring, then what good is that? I want to make sure that he got time to get loose, and so I didn't punish him.
You had pretty much made the decision right
Yes,
away.
yes.
How was Acuna's reaction to the conversation?
It was mature, like he owned up to it. He accepted, I know he knew he screwed up, and good for him,
So, kudos to that dude, man.
100%. I love a few of the things that he said. A few of the things that he said was, it's about the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back.
That's right. That's right.
To me, that's more important than anything else.
I agree, and that's something we should be teaching kids from an early age. The name on the back's only important to your parents.
Correct.
The name on the front's important to everybody else there. So carry yourself like you've been there before. And you know what? To be fair, Acuna is a young kid with a lot of success.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll mature. I'm glad, I saw a video later of him getting the news in the dugout from the manager, and he handled it really well. He didn't pitch a fit. He didn't throw a bat. He didn't throw a helmet. It's like he knew. He's like, yes, sir, I know I made a mistake. So, I don't know, but, the game's kind of glorifying this attitude right now. The home run pimping, the strikeout pimping, I don't know, and I'm kind of in between on whether I like it or not. I don't know what to think about it.
I think there's a time and a place for it.
Like when you hit it 515 feet. Go for
Or
it.
look at and I saw Bryce Harper hit that walk-off grand slam
What'd you
the
think
other
about
night.
that?
I loved the fact that he sprinted around the bases.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was
it
like
was
he couldn't wait to get back to his teammates.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I absolutely loved it. Not to mention that he absolutely I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit harder than that. I mean, he went upper deck in Philly. Yeah, it was ridiculous. If you have a big hit in a key moment in a key game, go ahead and do it. Right. You look at Jose Bautista a couple years ago when he hit that home run off the Rangers to, I think it was a walk-off bomb to win it in the playoffs. You know what? Even as a former pitcher, if you're going to hit that off me, I have no right whatsoever to tell you what you can and cannot do.
I agree.
Because you got me, you beat me, whatever. You're not showing me up. You're pumped. If I struck him out to win that game, I'm probably doing a fist bump and screaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna celebrate too because it's a huge moment in not only your life but in your career in that game. So yeah, I mean, are there things that can be overboard? Sure, but what he did, I mean, that's just a hey, look at me, look what I can do moment. Again, like Snicker said, he put himself above the team. And That's just if you're gonna win and you're gonna instill a championship environment with a young group of guys, you can't have things like this. And I think that's what he's getting at. And
I think he handled it well. I think Acuna handled the punishment or chastisement, whatever you want to call it.
right.
I think he handled it well. I bet we don't see it again.
Yeah, I would
bet we don't see it again.
I would hope so. We'll see if he learns from it or not, you know. But yeah, I mean that's definitely interesting. But just to go on with this, I was talking to Hannah on the way to her sand practice today. We were just kind of talking about being a selfish player. And I don't know how it came up or whatever, but
Being a what?
like a selfish player.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and we're kind of comparing and contrasting, you know, volleyball with baseball and things like that. And I said, there's probably only one player in one sport that can be selfish and it will be beneficial to the team.
Who's that?
The pitcher.
All right.
If
So explain it to me.
If you try to strike everybody out as a pitcher
Right.
and you're successful at it,
Right.
your team will end up being successful.
True.
If you selfishly are like, I don't want this guy to get hit, I want to beat him, because as we know, this game is a one-on-one battle between the pitcher and batter mixed into a team sport.
Right.
So a pitcher can be selfish as far as like, you know, I don't want that run to score, so I'm going to throw the guy out at home to get the out. Well, that's going to benefit the team. You know, as compared to a hitter, if you have a runner on second and third and less than 2 outs and you swing 3 times out of your rear end to try to hit a 3-run bomb instead of just hitting it to second and getting a run in,
Yeah.
that's where selfishness will, you know, not benefit the team. So
True. And you know who was really good at that was our good friend Jeff Keppinger, and he'll tell you I've seen him talk about it on video that he was on some teams where he knew his role as the number 2 hitter was to move runners over. And there were pitches that he could try to hit out that he knew my job's to move the runners over to benefit the team. And we need to get him on the show sometime.
that would be fun to talk about.
He's had a long time in the big leagues. He doesn't live that far from me. We'll try to get him on the show. Speaking of hitters, Pete Alonso is an animal, dude.
The polar bear.
He is an absolute animal. Did he tie or set the record for rookie home runs in the National League this week?
That's just, I mean, that's.
Did he tie it or set it? I think he
No,
set it, right?
Yeah, he said it today, and
Okay.
Bellinger had 39. Bellinger set that a couple years ago.
Strawberry
he
had
passed
39 as a rookie, didn't he? I thought.
Yeah. So Bellinger and Strawberry tied. So Alonso beat it with his 40th today.
Okay.
But he still has 12 more to go to break the MLB record, which was set by Judge.
I don't know if that's going to happen. We're on, well,
I don't know.
August 18th.
There's
We
a
got
month and a half
month
left. I mean, he's got 30. There's like 40 games left.
He'd have to hit a home run just about
Every-
every other game, just about.
Yeah, roughly.
I don't think he's going to get there. He's on a lot slower pace since the All-Star break.
Right.
But the Mets all-season record is 41. So he's one away from tying the Mets season record. And this really shocked me. I didn't realize no Met had ever hit more than 41 home runs. Did you know that?
Has hit no more than 40.
41. No Met player has ever hit more than 41 home runs.
That's interesting.
Darryl Strawberry hit 39. He never hit 40 as a Met. Todd Hundley hit 41, and Carlos Beltran hit 41. So in the entire history of the Mets, which is a pretty long history, they've been around a while. In the entire history of the Mets, nobody's hit more than 41 home runs for them.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So he's going to own the NL rookie home run record, and unless he gets hurt tonight or tomorrow or whatever, he's going to own the Mets record in his rookie season.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. So look, I'll bring this up. We'll check out the NL rookie home run record video real
Forward to
quick.
his comments.
Pete Alonso sends one deep to left field, and that is gone. Pete
Dude.
Alonso.
But look at that pitch.
His 40th
Oh, yeah.
home run of the
I mean,
season.
that, you know, and when you watch the highlights,
A monster out to left field.
I mean, the dude's built. I mean, I'm not taking anything away
He's
from
a
him
big
at all.
boy.
He's a big boy, and he swings it. But if you watch some of the highlights of these guys hitting home runs, a lot of the pitches are in the middle of the plate, thigh to belt high or higher.
Yeah, they are, but the guys hitting 8 home runs a year are seeing the same pitches.
Exactly.
So I just want to see this
You
one more
look
time.
forward-
Just part of this
forward
one more
to his-
time.
Comments.
That was belt high right down the freaking middle. What was the count? It was an 0-2 count.
Yeah, but look where
Why
they.
are you throwing that pitch right there? 0-2.
Well, rewind that. Rewind it if you can, and freeze it where the catcher sets up, because he goes
wanted it-
inside,
he
up
wanted
and
it
in.
up.
Right, look where his glove is.
Oh, the
Right, so
video's not
he's
playing
talking. He's talking at the letters,
now. Yeah.
a little bit on the inside corner, and when he makes contact, that thing is about where his right shoulder, the catcher's right shoulder, is.
Hang on. It's not playing. Hang on. All right. So, hang on.
You look forward
Yeah. See, he sets up above his, right about his hands.
to his
Right.
It looks like he's not missed. He didn't miss by much, dude. That's about where he set up. Watch.
But 0-2, you can't miss there though.
No,
That's just that's the third pitch he threw too.
Oh my
I mean, so
gosh.
you get up on Alonso,
Why
how
aren't you
hard-
brushing him back?
or if you're gonna miss up.
Dude,
Right?
You know what this reminds me of is playing in college. My college pitching coach was is the statistician for the Turner Broadcasting System, TBS,
Uh-huh.
and he used to make us run. If we had somebody 0-2 and they fouled it off, we owed them 20 foul poles. He was like, 0-2, you are in the driver's seat. They shouldn't even be able to touch the ball. You should be
Right.
moving their feet, get them off the plate, or throwing it way outside, make them chase, but they shouldn't even touch the ball. This
crown races.
is a piss
You
poor.
look
Hang on.
for
This is a piss poor freaking 0-2. This should have been up around the catcher's head
Yeah.
or inside. Why? 0-2. 1-0, 1-0, 2-0. That's a good pitch. You might get away with it. 2-0 or 0-2? No.
This guy has to be a rookie because he's wearing what, 90 something?
Sends one deep to left field,
Dude, he didn't kind of hit this ball.
50. He's wearing 50. Let me.
and that is
He didn't
me see
kinda
who
hit
that
ball.
was.
He freaking dropped a bomb on that.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
That's crazy.
Let's see who this guy is. Who was it?
Number 50. Who is it? The Mets?
Kansas City, and it was Jay Barnes.
Oh, Kansas
So
City, that's right.
Jacob Barnes, his ERA is a 5.54 ERA.
Well, if you keep throwing pitches like this 0-2, it's going to stay that way.
Looks like he might have just gotten called up because he only has an inning and 2/3 pitch. So let's give him a little bit of a break, being a rookie, I guess. Well, no, he has more. I'm sorry. Let's see. He's been. Looks like he came up and has. Looks like he started this season on the big league roster. He might have gotten hurt, but he hadn't pitched in the big leagues. He stopped his last outing was in June 11th, and then he came back August 13th.
Oh wow. All right.
So maybe he's hurt or he got put back down or whatnot. Or
Yeah, but still, that's an 0-2 pitch, man. Throw it
oh,
somewhere.
he was with the Brewers. He got sent down to the minors.
Okay.
He's designated for assignment, and then the Royals picked him up. So that would
Well, either way,
that was the
I
reason.
never made it past A ball, and I know 0-2 you don't throw it built high down the middle.
Yes.
That's just
Yeah.
so. This Aristides Aquino, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing his name right.
Baby Eric Davis.
Dude, baby Eric Davis, I think his swing looks like Glenn Bragg.
Oh, he
Glenn
swings like Glenn Bragg, but when he's standing at the plate, he looks like Eric Davis to me.
11 homers in 16 games. He's batting .345. This is a 25-year-old rookie. How was he overlooked for 5 years? Did he just... I did read that he completely changed his stance and everything clicked. So, is that the case? Like, was he not good before and now he's amazing? I mean, how do you spend 5, 6, 7 years in the minors, do nothing, come to big leagues and hit 11 homers in 16 games?
Yeah,
You're looking it up, aren't you?
that's crazy. Coming up and just, like it's no big deal.
Not just like it's no big deal, like he dominates.
Yeah.
11 homers in 16 games, that's on pace for 110 home runs a year.
That's crazy.
If you could keep that throughout the year, that's 110 home runs a year.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. But...
No, it wouldn't happen. but that's the pace he's on. It's stupid.
He did go 0 for 2 with 2 walks today, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's calmed down for a day.
11 homers in 17 games.
Yeah.
I think I'd walk him twice, too.
Well, okay, so looking at his numbers right here, he's played 16 games.
Yeah.
He's had 55 at bats, 1 double.
Okay.
Which that's kind of ridiculous, right? So he's had 1 double out of 16 games, but he's had 11 home runs.
How about this? 11 homers, he's only scored 15 times.
Yeah. So 53 total bases. He's walked 4 times and struck out 14.
44 of them are homers.
Mm-hmm.
44 of his 55 total bases are homers.
Yeah, and he's hitting 345.
That's nuts, dude. I'd take it. I'll tell you this much: his baseball cards went from being worth 50 cents to I see some of them as much as $300, $400, $500 now.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Right.
I don't know if you know, but the last 3 or 4 years, the baseball card industry has picked back up. It is on fire.
Really?
It is insane. The 80s and 90s and early 2000 and the 2000s were a dumpster fire for the collection industry, and the baseball card people got smart and they started doing limited runs of everything. They used to just print everything as fast as they could, and now everything's numbered. They limit the number of cases they print, the number of cards they print. You really ought to check it out. If you want to get into it, one of the best ways to get into it is Jeff Keppinger, we mentioned earlier. He's doing card breaks. I didn't know what card breaks were until earlier this year. They'll buy an entire case of cards. You can buy into 1 team, 2 teams, 3 teams, pick how many teams you want for a fraction of the cost of buying the whole case. And they'll open the cases live on video, and you get to keep whatever teams you paid for. So the other night, somebody bought into the Blue Jays, and they got a very rare, like 1 of 10 autographed Vlad Guerrero Jr. card autographed. So the guy bought in for like $80, and he got like a $700 card out of that. So
It's
but
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. If anybody wants to check it out, look up on Facebook, Keps Clubhouse Breaks, and these breaking cards on there, and you can buy in. We got a couple of the pro ball players that have gotten in there. They're buying cards. I got into a break a while back. I got unlucky. I got in a random team break and got the Orioles. I got.
Did you get a Chris Davis one?
I did. I got a Chris Davis. I'm looking at it right now. I got a Chris Davis refractor, which a refractor is a card that's kind of like holographic.
Right.
It's worth nothing, but
Yeah.
I did get a Cedric Mullins autograph card, which is cool. And I just found out Cedric Mullins is from the same town I grew up in. Well, the neighboring town.
Gotcha.
He's their star rookie. He grew up in Snellville, Georgia, and I'm from Loganville. If I had grown up across the street, I would have gone to the same high school he went to. But,
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's their big star. I got some of his cards. One of them's autographed. So I just started back into it. And, you know, Jeff Keppinger owes me because he got me back into collecting again. But it's cool. It's fun. You know, for $25, $30, you can get a whole team sometimes.
Yeah.
And you might get an autograph or a super limited card. And it's fun to watch them break the cards, and it's pretty cool. But
Awesome.
did you ever collect cards?
I did. I have a box up in the attic
Like
from
me?
yeah, from my childhood. I went through it a few years ago. I think I found a what did I find? I know I found a Kurt Schilling. I'll have to go back up there. I'll have to go back up there again because with a bunch of the guys that we've, gotten to know in these past couple of years, I wonder how many if I got a Kip Gross or Steve Avery or, something along those lines, like that'd be kind of
exactly what I want to know too. I had my wife go this summer. She went back to visit her mom, and her mom had a big giant tub of baseball cards I had. And I want to go through them, I mean, there's tons of guys we know, like Kip Gross and Steve Avery and I'm trying to think, Kurt Schilling, and there's a ton of them that we know in the baseball group on Facebook that I wouldn't mind sending them off, get them autographed, just because they're my buddies.
right.
And see how many of them I got in there. That I just got to go through them all. I've got like 10,000 cards, and I just got to sift through all of them.
Yeah.
But all right, hey, listen, we've been on here for 45 minutes. We usually try to keep it around 30. You got any topics you want to cover before we go?
Well, I was just gonna bring up two things real quick.
Go for
Looking at still staying with Aquino here.
Okay.
So he got called up August 1st.
Right.
He's had 5 games since August 1st, since he's gotten called up, where he's gone hitless.
Okay, so pretty much every game he gets a hit in, he hits a home run then.
Close to it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean his first 6 at bats, he went 0 for 6 with 3 Ks, and then he finally went 2 for 2.
Wait, his first 6 at bats, he went over. He went
Yep.
0 for 6.
Yep, with 3 strikeouts.
Wow.
And then he went 2 for 2, 1 for 1, 1 for 3, 3 for 4, and then he mixed in a 3 home run game a couple days later against the Cubs. Yeah, so he went on a tear where he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 6 home runs in 4 games.
Good grief.
And then pretty much after that, it's almost like every other game he's hitting one.
He's gonna be loving life right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not having peanut butter and jellies anymore, and not having to cook on his his hot plate in the hotel rooms after an 18-hour bus trip.
And not only that, he's the star of the show in Cincinnati now.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I bet you they're printing banners of him right now and hanging.
I mean, in theory, they traded Puig to let him come up.
Yeah.
So, And then my last little plug is that Rafael Devers in a 2-day span went 8 for 8
That's crazy too.
against
That's awesome.
against the Indians, and there's only been 2 players that have done that
Going
in the
8 for 8.
history of baseball. Yep.
That's pretty awesome. Oh, dude, we almost missed it. How about Aaron Boone saying the MLB should look into the mercy rule?
Well, I would have to agree with that.
Are you serious? That shocks me.
Well, but make it after 7, right? So let's say the team's up 15-1, and you're gonna throw your third string catcher just to save arms. Either expand the roster to allow at least 2 or 3 more pitchers who can eat up those basically worthless innings. Because let's be honest, in 162 games, if you're getting your butt kicked 15-1 and it's the 7th or 8th inning, are you really going to give out your full effort at that point? No. All you're thinking about is like, dude, let's just get this thing over with so I can go eat and we can go to whatever restaurant and we can hang out and then come back to the yard tomorrow. So
I like your idea of expanding the pitching staff. I would prefer that. Give them 13 guys instead of 11.
Yeah, and what's that going to hurt? I mean,
Nothing.
absolutely.
It gives guys a chance to show what they can do.
Right.
Instead of taking innings away. I don't like the mercy rule thing. I think we're always changing the game, and I hate it. It's a game. It happens. You lose 18-1, whatever. That gives you the opportunity to put the guys in that never play, give them a chance, show you what they can do. And if you take that away, those guys may never get the shot.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that may
100%.
be the only chance that third string right fielder gets to get into a game in the big leagues. So why take that away? Let him get his work in, show you what he can do, and that may make or break his career.
Right.
That's why I do like your idea of expanding the pitching roster.
Or if I'm a GM of a team,
yeah,
I might be scouting differently in the upcoming future and looking for a guy who is a two-way baseball player.
Yeah.
Like an Ohtani. Granted he hasn't pitched because of his Tommy Johns, but how valuable could a position player be if he can come and relieve every 3rd day?
Shoot, every 7th day.
Right.
It would still be valuable.
I mean, you don't have to use him like a setup man or a closer, but hey, the bullpen had a rough night last night. All right, cool. I got an inning in me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2, and with how conditioned these guys are, I mean, if he's an outfielder and granted I was in high school, but I would pitch, I'd throw a complete game, and 2 days later I'd turn around and I'd play center field.
Right.
My arm, it didn't hurt my arm any.
No.
So I don't, if they're conditioned well and I guess, with all the pitch counts and stuff like that, you kind of monitor their use, they should be fine.
I agree.
And especially in the National League, because now you don't have to sub so much because your guy can end up going play in the field.
Yeah.
And he can still hit.
I agree. I'm adamant against the mercy rule, but I do like your ideas. I like that a lot. So listen, what's coming up this week? Are there any big matchups that you know of? I mean, the Florida Miami game is awesome. I will be watching that.
Yes, that'll be a good one.
We will definitely be talking football next Sunday for sure. And then gonna try to get my friend Tavares King on here shortly. He played at Georgia, then played for the New York Giants. I'm gonna try to get him on here, talk football. Guys, if you played pro sports, we'd love to have you on. Yeah, I made a little comment on there. Don't know what you're so afraid of. Y'all love talk trash on the internet. Invite you to come on here.
That's right.
Everybody shuts up. What is going on? Get your
Keyboard
butts on here.
warriors.
Let's do this. So anyway,
So yeah, coming up this week, the Dodgers are hosting the Yankees
okay, that should be good.
for a 3-game set over the weekend. Atlanta is at New York at the Mets,
Okay,
so that could be an interesting series there with the Mets kind of surging and Atlanta holding strong in the East.
the
But
Mets have
that
turned out to be a fun team to watch since the All Star break. Like
yes, they have.
they were not fun before the All Star break. Now it's like, they
Who are
got
these
something
guys?
going.
Right. And as far as series go in baseball, it kind of looks like that's the most significant one as far as playoffs are going.
And then it's
Other than that,
football,
a bunch
football.
of teams, yeah, a bunch of teams that are leading. I mean, I guess the Cubs and Washington's that could be a significant series as well. I mean, we still got a month left to go, but you know how things happen.
Right. Yeah. And then it's football next weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't
Clemson,
even be
Georgia
thinking-
Tech
Clemson, Georgia
Clemson-
Tech, what?
on the 29th.
Oh yeah, Georgia.
Ah.
Who does Georgia open with? I think.
Georgia Southern School of the
Uh,
Blind.
No, I think. Hang on, I'm gonna tell you. Georgia is starting to change the way they schedule. In a few years, they're open against Murray. No, let's see. No, they open against Vanderbilt, so it's not a cakewalk, but
No, not
but it
necessarily.
is. But
But
they
and this
did you see
this
they
is
added I don't know what year it is, but it's only a couple years off. They opened the season with Alabama in a couple years. Game opener, Alabama. Boom.
yeah, have fun with that one.
Exactly. the highest priced ticket of any college football game on StubHub for the whole season for any team across all of NCAA. Do you know what it is?
It was that championship game with Alabama.
No, this coming year. This coming year. Yes.
Year.
The highest priced ticket on StubHub for the whole season this coming year. You got any idea?
Well, it's got to be the largest cocktail party in the world.
Nope. Georgia Notre Dame.
Really?
The highest priced ticket.
Where is it at?
I think we went and played them, so this time I think it's at Georgia, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We played them last year or the year before, and so this time it's at Georgia. It's the highest priced ticket that you can get in college football for the regular season.
Yeah.
That ought to be interesting. But
Yeah, that it should.
all right, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Scott, thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
I'll get this produced, put on Spotify. Oh, guys, you can get us on the website, prosportstalk.live. You can get us on Spotify. Just search Pro Sports Talk. Look for our logo. You can get us on iTunes and about 6 other different podcast places. So if you want to check out the show on Monday morning on your ride to work, pick it up, check it out, tell all your friends about it. Send us money. We take money, so you can send me your address. I promise I'll send Scott his share.
That's our shameless plug for the day.
That's our shameless plug for the day. So anyway, Scott, it's great talking to you. We'll talk next week.
You too, bud.
We'll get us some guests on. Steve Avery wants to talk. Tavares King wants to talk. If you can get Kurt Schilling, that would be pretty freaking awesome. We're just getting started, man. This is good.
Yes, sir.
All right. It's Sunday night. It's time to go back to work. We'll see you guys
All right,
later.
man.
See you, Scott.
Bye.